10 to 80% they said. In just 28 minutes, they said. Well, if fitness and burning fat would be as easy and fast as fast charging with the new model year 2024 of the Skoda ENYAQ. And hello friends of the electrified charging fun, and welcome to Speicher Elektrisiert, your channel all around Skoda's e-mobility. And if you've got the new model year, you see that Skoda tells you it's 28 minutes to charge from 10 to 80%. No matter if you drive an 85, an 85X, an RS or a Lorraine and Clement LNK edition. And so basically, before that, the all-wheel drive versions, the X and the RS, needed 36 minutes. And this is due to improved battery chemistry and a new battery management system. And this we put to the first test in this video. This is not an extensive charge test with a lot of comparison and stuff like that. It's just driving for the first time to the fast charger and plugging in and see what happens. Also taking into account that we've got preheating, so we can heat up the battery to an optimal condition to get a better charging experience. We do this manual in this video. There's also an automatic mode. We'll look at this in another video. Here we do this manual and see what will happen when we hit the charger and how fast will the car really charge. And if you're interested in that, then this video is just the right one for you. For this first charging test, I will optimize my battery manually, so hitting the button, and not do it by setting a destination as a charger as a destination. And as you can see, now I have a capability for fast charging of 114 kilowatts, and he tells me he can optimize it to 140 kilowatts, needing 19 minutes for that. And we're driving to a fast charger right now and see what will happen. And of course, I brought my car scanner app and my OBD adapter to read the values. Link to the OBD adapter down in the description. It's an affiliate link to Amazon. And there is a new value point, a new data point in the car scanner with the software version for ENYAQ. It's called heater battery, and it's measured in kilowatts. So basically, we should see a value right here when I hit preheat manually, and this is what we do right now. You can see it here. Time already dropped to 13 minutes from 19 minutes, so yes, there is some battery heating going on. You can see it here as well. I'm at the side of the road, not driving, and you see there is some kilowatts on the battery, so around 5 to 6 kilowatts of power drawn from the battery. And another sign that the battery heater is working is down here. You see there is a current going to the heater, 15.25 amps, and the fluid around the battery for cooling and heating already hits 32 degrees Celsius. And the pump is also working, which lets this fluid circulate with 70%. Also, the battery is now up to 19 degrees. But it's a pity that this value isn't available. This could be an issue with the car scanner app, or simply that the Skoda ENYAQ is not giving this value out to over the OBD adapter. I don't know, but it is not relevant because with the current here and the temperature of the fluid, we can definitely say it's working. Optimal fast charging speed reached, and it is 139 kilowatts at 8% SOC. And if we look at the data, the sweet spot of battery temperature is 23 degrees. When I hit 23 degrees here, not 24, the heater stopped heating the fluid and says we have reached the optimal temperature. Now I just want to plug in, but let's see if I do it, because on the same charger there is a big truck charging and I don't know if I get enough speed. As you can see, the truck on the other side is charging with the 274 kilowatts here on that 300 kilowatt fast charger of Fastnet, so I really doubt that there will be much power coming for me. I plugged in besides the truck, and the first values, as you saw, are 147 kilowatts. Now it says 145 kilowatts charging power. Estimation is 25 minutes for a fully charged from 8 to 80%. That's nearly perfect, that's fine. And if we look at the car scanner, we've got the proof. It's around 145, 146 kilowatts of power for charging right now. We are now at 36% SOC, so basically we are 28% up right now, and we're still charging with 144, 145 kilowatts. The truck has plugged off and is driving away, but this will not lead to any other result here. We won't go higher than this value, I guess, but still, charging at 145 kilowatts at 37% SOC, that is quite a good value. We reached 50% SOC and we're still charging with 132, 133 kilowatts. This is a really good value. So basically we charge from 8 to 51 right now, from 30 to 218 kilometers in 15 minutes. By the way, the battery temperature is now at 47 degrees, so really warm. And yeah, that is charging how it should be, I would say. At least for Skoda ENYAQ. We are now at 64% SOC, and for the first time we see power values below 100 kilowatts. So basically from 8 to 65, 64%, we could have, we charged with over 100 kilowatts. Well, that's good, that's fine. Surprised? 30 minutes and 30 seconds for charging from 8 to 80%. But we need to be honest here. It could be that the truck on the other side took a bit of my charging power, because the charger has 300 kilowatts, and when we started I had 148 and he also. So basically it was split even, and yeah, maybe I could have a bit higher charger curve overall, which leads to 2 or 3 minutes faster charging. We will never know. So yeah, in 30 minutes you got 310 kilometers of range. That was my result. Now let's take a deeper look into the data. I exported the data from the car scanner into Excel and did some graphs for you. And the first one I show you here is the decharging, and though also the preheating of the battery. What you see here in green, that is the power which is put onto the battery while driving. So you see a lot of accelerating and decelerating, so regeneration. In orange you see the battery temperature itself, and in the purple color is the fluid which is around the battery to heat it or to cool it. And with the fluid you directly see, once you've hit the button to preheat the battery, the fluid gets heated up and the battery temperature steadily but slowly climbs up, which is also supported due to the driving. And then there's a curiosity in this, which I marked with this blue rectangle. There the fluid temperature really rises very quick, with no explanation for that. It can't be due to the regeneration I did there, because this regeneration directly heats the battery, not the fluid. And even though this would never heat the fluid that much up, so there's something I do not really understand, and it has no effect for the battery itself. The battery is still heating up normally. And it will be heated up to 23 degrees Celsius. After that, preheating stops, because this is the minimal optimal temperature the battery should have. And as I already said before, the real optimal value is above this, but for preheating, this is it. And now let's look at the charging graph. Now let's look at the graph from the charging. And as you can see, here's quite a lot of stuff going on, which is really interesting. First off, the green line again is the power, the purple line is the fluid temperature, and the battery temperature is in orange. Now what you can see is how the purple line drops over the course of charging, because the ENYAQ starts to actively cool the battery, because due to the fast charging it gets heated up quite a lot, and when it hits about 50 degrees Celsius it's getting too hot for an optimal charging experience. This is why the ENYAQ starts to cool it again. That's why we see the purple line dropping, although we see the battery temperature itself rising really high up and dropping a bit at the end of the charging. But now let's come to the interesting stuff, and that is the charging curve itself. Basically we start out with 147, nearly to 150 kilowatts. The effect of the truck charging on the same charger, we talk about that later on. Let's look at this graph, and it keeps the maximum charging power to nearly 60% SOC. And this was not possible with the previous model year with the old battery chemistry and the old battery management system. There, at around 33–35%, charging would drop. This is a huge improvement we see here, to have such large plateau of high charging speed over the time. Then the power drops. This is normal and this is quite good value. But then there's another curiosity, starting around 60% SOC to around 73–75% SOC. You see how it's pulsing there, going up and down, going up and down. And this is about 10 kilowatts. It goes up and down in a rather fast way, nearly every second. I don't know what that is. It could be just a mistake, and we won't see that again in future chargings, but maybe this is some kind of pulse charging to be faster, I don't know. Or maybe it was because the charger was already really hot and glowing due to the truck and me taking the full power of this, I don't know, but really curious. And in the end, we needed 2 minutes longer than Skoda says it should take, from 10 to 80%. But this is perfectly fine for me here, because we have to talk about the effect of the truck charging on the same column, because I think there was one. Now let's talk about the truck charging on the same charger. Well, basically this Alpitronic charger has 300 kilowatts of power, but it splits the power to both plugs. So not both plugs get 300 kilowatts, either if both are plugged in, both get 150. And I guess that's what we saw in the video. I'm pretty sure the ENYAQ could have charged with more power and thus being faster, but I cannot prove it. And now for the people who say, hey, but that was a bit unfair. Look at this poor truck driver. He has to charge, he was plugged in, and he was charging with 274 kilowatts. So basically the maximum power this charger could provide. When you plugged in and you just took 120 kilowatts off from him so that you could share the power of the column. But that's not the complete truth. I didn't do this on purpose to annoy the driver. I simply had no other chance. On this location there are 2 Alpitronic chargers stacked behind each other, and the truck was on one side and his trailer was blocking the charger. So basically he had plugged in at the first one and the second one was not usable on this side. And on my side, on the second charger, there was an MG4 plugged in already and charging, so I had no other option than taking this charger and to charge up there. Maybe I could have reached another charger of Ionity nearby, but when it's vacation time and around the time I was charging, there is always everything blocked. You won't get a free spot, so I wasn't out on this chance. That's why I charged there. And on the other hand, you could say, well, the truck driver could have placed its trailer on the parking lot and just drove over there to charge. But this is inconvenient too, because this is a lot of work, it costs time, I understand that. So basically, how do you think about those trucks charging and blocking other chargers? Or if you go on vacation with a trailer, how do you do this? Write me in the comments. I'm really curious about this, because going on vacation with an electric car and a trailer, this is something I would like to bring on this channel. And also, we do a lot of more charging tests. The automatic preheating, when you have a navigation going on with chargers in it. And well, charging in summer is easy, everyone can do it. It's way more interesting to charge in winter times. We also look at this when winter arrives. And for those who are interested in long distance travel, we are going on vacation 3 weeks to Denmark, all the way up to the northern Denmark. And this is quite a lot of driving, over 1,500 kilometers. Going back driving, it's like a road trip, and I can bring you a lot of experience with the car, with charging, with traveling and stuff like that. And if you do not want to miss those videos, then you should subscribe to this channel. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. And we'll see each other in the next video. And until then, stay full of energy.